Well, like we've been saying all season long, you see one great game for the Blue Jays, and then you see one really bad game for the Jays as they lose 5-1 to the New York Yankees. The New York Yankees clinch a playoff spot. You know, we got to congratulate them because they did make the playoffs, and that's a mission in itself in baseball. So tip of the cap to them. The Jays haven't had a good year. Plain and simple right there. If the Jays had a better year, maybe we give them a run for their money. But clearly, they were better than us all season long, and the Blue Jays, after this loss, have officially been eliminated from postseason contention. Now, I mean, we all knew it was over like 5-10 games ago, but it's official. That's it. There will be no playoff baseball in Toronto this season. So let's just break down the games, enjoy the rest of the games. There's only like 7 remaining, so it's just, let's enjoy them as they come, all right? But today, not a game we like. And, it started off really good. In the 3rd inning, Teoscar Hernandez finds a mistake from Sonny Gray and plasters this baseball into the second row of the WestJet flight deck. Just obliterated that baseball. What a fantastic hit. Estimated 429 feet. He crushed that ball. But then in the 5th inning, Joe Biagini cruising up to this point, 2-on. Greg Bird at the plate. It's a 3-run shot. And at that point, I'm thinking to myself, Sonny Gray on the mound. Yankees bullpen. Yeah, this game is pretty much over. And it really was. The Jays don't get any more runs, don't show much more fight. Todd Frazier hits a home run, and then Castro with an infield single, and they score a couple more runs, and the Blue Jays end up losing 5-1 to the Yankees. And after getting a decent amount of hits yesterday and scoring a lot of runs, you get 4 measly hits and a solo home run from Hernandez. That's all you get. 2 hits from Justin Smoke. He was 2 for 3 in the game. Rafi Lopez was 1 for 3, and obviously Hernandez was 1 for 4. But other than that, and that's it. I mean, that's really all there was. Now, bullpen perspective, we did all right. Danny Barnes had a good solid inning. Aaron Loup gave you a pretty solid inning. White gave up a hit, but got out of the inning clean. Good to see Danny Barnes get another clean inning under his belt. He had a really, really rough stretch there for a while. He's done pretty well over his last few outings, for that matter. And Aaron Loup gets his ERA under 4. It's now 3.88. Tim Mayza and Luis Santos both give up runs in the 8th and 9th inning. And that's all she wrote. Joe Biagini, the question is, I mean, they still continue about what are we going to do with him next year? Where is he going to be when next season starts? Is he going to be in the bullpen? Is he going to be in the rotation? After this, well, he wasn't all that bad in the start, but he made one bad pitch to Greg Bird, and that's it. He also walked 4 guys, and he was doing great the first few innings, but then lost his control, and then really lost his control on that pitch to Bird. So, in my opinion, and I think on just about everybody's opinion, Joe Biagini should be a reliever next year, and the Jays should go after a starter in free agency. That's my opinion. I think you guys would agree with me in that sense, just because we haven't really seen anything consistency from Joe Biagini. If you're not facing the Orioles, you're not getting a win. If you're Joe Biagini, I mean, he's had 2 very good starts against the Orioles. He also had a good start against the Yankees. That was a little while ago, but ever since then, he really hasn't done much in the rotation. And you look at a guy like Alex Cobb, was an example that we've heard a little bit about. I know I've said this in previous videos, but he'd be a guy that could fit in that slot right away, and he'd be a good player to have. And then you have Joe Biagini in the bullpen where he is most dominant, right? So that's what you want to see there, and I think that's what you should do if I was the Blue Jays. But I'm not Shapiro and Atkins. I can't do that. I can't do it. I'm not John Gibbons. I can't do it. But I can only provide my opinion, and that's what that is. Now, like I said, we just got to get out of this season. Let's just get out of this season. It's been a miserable one, and see what happens next year. I don't know what's going to happen throughout the offseason. It's going to be exciting, though, because there's change that has to be made. Now, with that being said, we still have 7 games remaining. That's that. Finale here, which is the last home game of the regular season, or last home game of the season for the Jays. Then we go to Boston. Then you go to New York to end off the season. Jaime Garcia on the mound for the Yankees. Marcus Stroman on the mound for the Jays. Marcus, his ERA is 3.01. He has had very, very good starts over his last few starts. He's been great all season long. What am I saying? I mean, last game he was probably one of the best I've ever seen him. 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 1 run, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. He was dynamite. We look to see that again against the Yankee team that he usually does pretty well against. So I'm hoping he can do the same thing there. And then let's quickly preview the Boston series. Brett Anderson versus Drew Pomeranz. Jay Happ versus Chris Sale. That's going to be a fun one. And then Marco Estrada versus Rick Porcello. And then a day off, then to New York for the final series of the season. To be officially eliminated, it sucks. But we saw this coming. When you don't hit 500 once the entire season, when you're not out of the basement once the entire season, you're not going anywhere. And the Jays didn't deserve a playoff spot this year the way they played. That's plain and simple. They got to go into the offseason, improve. Get healthy, and improve. That's it. All right? So it's going to be a grind these next 7 games, but don't you guys worry. We got Jays hockey, or Leafs hockey, and Raptors, we're getting there. I think it's October 1st is the first preseason game for the Raptors. We're getting pretty close to that. I am very, very excited, especially since now that Carmelo Anthony is out of the Eastern Conference and now in OKC. Holy smokes. That team is going to be nuts next year, too. It is October 1st against the Clippers. That's the first preseason game there. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed this video and you guys are bummed out about the whole Jays not making the playoffs, I guess I hit that like button. I do appreciate that. Tip of the cap to the Yankees. I mean, they deserved it. They went out and got Sonny Gray. He's a darn good pitcher. Severino's turned the corner. Aaron Judge is Aaron Judge. Just the team is great. They got a mix of veterans and young guys. Matt Holliday's a great veteran to have there. Chase Headley is a good veteran to have there. They got some good pieces. So they deserve to be there. We don't. That's bottom line. As much as I'm a Jays fan, I'm a baseball fan too. And it's reality. It sucks, but it's reality, all right? So comment down below what you guys think of the ball game. What have you guys thought about the Jays season as a whole? What have you guys thought about Teoscar Hernandez? I mean, I thought he's been doing fantastic as a Blue Jay so far. He's hitting .267 as a Jay with 4 home runs and 11 RBIs. I think he's done fantastic. But does that mean he's a starter next year? Well, that's debatable, right? That's debatable, and I think you'll go into spring training with that in your mind, all right? So let me know what you guys think about the game, the season as a whole, the offseason possibilities. Let me know what you guys have to think, and we'll talk to you guys very shortly. Leafs edition as they beat the Buffalo Sabres again in preseason. We'll talk about that very shortly. And tomorrow, it'll be a bit later. My baseball's on, so we start at 1 o'clock. The Jays start at 1 o'clock, so it's going to be a little bit later, maybe about 7 o'clock, something like that. Maybe I'll get the videos out to you guys, or video out to you guys. Jaime Garcia, Marcus Stroman. Talk to you guys then.